Good afternoon. My name is Tyler Barker. I serve as the coordinator within the Office of Parent and Family Programs. I would like to welcome you to our Buzzin Tech webinar series for parents and families. Today, we're joined by the Office of the Arts, just kind of talking about how your student can get involved with the arts and some of the cool things that they do on campus to kind of host events and have programs and resources to help support your student if this is something that they are interested in. If you have any questions for our presenters while they are presenting, please feel free to utilize the Q&A chat box. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to utilize the Q&A chat box. We will get to your questions at the end of the presentation. And so if you'll just give me a few moments, I will transition it over to our PowerPoint. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Kelly and Elizabeth so they can introduce themselves.
Thank you, Tyler. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kelly Pierce. I'm the marketing manager with Georgia Tech Arts.
And I'm Elizabeth Geiger. I'm the marketing specialist at Georgia Tech Arts. We're glad to be here.
So we just wanted to take a few minutes today to introduce you to Georgia Tech Arts and our programming, and just list some ways that your student and your family can get involved with creative activities on campus. So we have here just a little information about our mission. First and foremost, we're really focused on elevating the artistic outputs of students on campus and highlighting their creativity. We also work to bring professional artists to campus who are interested in exploring ideas specifically around technology, engineering, science, and really connecting them with the research and work that's happening in classrooms and laboratories across campus. And so one of our big student activities that's always really popular is our annual Clough Student Art Crawl. This is open to undergraduate and graduate students across the Institute. Anyone can submit their artwork in a variety of mediums to be considered. This year, it looks like it will be a virtual format, but typically we do install the works in Clough Commons on campus, but we will be hosting it as a virtual event this year. And that information will be coming out very soon for a January release. Thanks, Tyler. So we've also been really busy coming up with a variety of interactive online activities for students and families. One of those is Technically Creative, Georgia Tech Alumni in the Arts. And so in this series, we've been inviting Georgia Tech alumni who work in creative industries to join us for kind of 30-minute quick conversations that we stream to Facebook Live. And they've been really popular. It's a great opportunity to ask questions of alumni. And we open these up to the public. There's no sort of cost or admission with those. We've also been working with Art Matters, which is a student organization on campus. They've created a really wonderful series called Create Together that launches next week. And in that, they've identified students on campus to lead various workshops and webinars. So the first event will be with Brady Bove. She's an engineer and author, and she'll be leading a poetry writing exercise. So those are happening multiple times a month. If you go to our website, and we'll provide all that information at the end, you can see all of those upcoming activities. And then we're really excited to announce that we're been able to partner with guitarist and composer Kaki King. She's an artist who came to campus last season, so in February of this year, to lead workshops with students, and she'll be leading a performance in the spring that Elizabeth will speak to in a minute. But she is also releasing a brand new album, and she'll be performing it live from the First Center in mid-October. We'll be recording it and then streaming the debut on October 24th. And that will go out on our Facebook Live and YouTube page, and that'll be free and open to the public, but we'll also have a live Q&A online format for that event. So it'll be a great opportunity for your students to get to interact with CACI directly as well. Thanks, Tyler. So we also, as I mentioned, we had CACI come to campus in February to lead workshops. So we really have worked to bring a variety of different artists to campus or to interact with students virtually as they're doing the research around their upcoming projects. So one of those artists is Shiloh Shiv Suleiman, and she's the founding member of Fearless Collective, which is a Southeast Asia-based artist collective. And we're really excited. She's going to be leading a series of virtual workshops specifically for students on campus. And they'll take place in November and in January. And these workshops will cover topics, we've listed out a few of them here, healthcare and healing, earth, economy and resource, and then power, governance, and security. And what's really exciting about these workshops is that students are going to be encouraged to really connect with one another and to discuss how they can reimagine components of their future world. And really the goal is at the end is to transform these discoveries into a public art installation in the spring. And that'll happen on campus. So it's a really exciting opportunity for the students to share their ideas and to see that, that input be expressed into an art installation. We also will be working with singer-songwriter Gabriel Kahane. He is currently working on a new album, which will lead to a performance in spring of 2022 at the First Center on Georgia Tech's campus. But this fall and spring, he'll be leading online workshops with students to really get their feedback and thoughts about the use of technology in their daily lives. Some of the topics that he's interested in exploring are looking at sort of the role of technology in terms of, is it really the intention really to improve our lives, or is it more for creating capital? And then also exploring this idea of data being akin in value to natural resources, and then how do we secure that resource as a result. So he's planning to have conversations with various classes interested in exploring data, technology, and cybersecurity. And then finally, in terms of workshops that will be taking place this fall, we were really fortunate to receive a grant from the Charles Lorden Foundation to bring contemporary dance to Georgia Tech's campus over a 3-year period. We're currently in year 2 of that program. And so we're actually working with a local dance group called Immerse ATL. It serves as a bridge between the pre-performance professional training and a professional career in dance. So these artists are really on the cusp of becoming professional dancers, and they'll be joining students in virtual roundtable discussions around issues and topics related to technology. And the goal is for the artists to really tease out the emotional responses and implications of these ideas, and together with the students translate these concepts into physical movement. And the goal is to have a work in progress showing in spring of 2021. And so now I'll turn it over to Elizabeth. She'll be able to talk more about our spring performances and opportunities for students.
Great, thank you. So I am truly looking forward to seeing the artists who will be performing on campus in the spring, and I hope I can share some of that excitement with you. So that little picture you see is of the entrance to the First Center for the Arts, which is located on the southwest side of campus near the new Pavilion Complex and the Student Center. And this, at the First Center, is where Georgia Tech Arts presents our artists, and it's also home to performances by student groups and regional and national and international touring artists. The exciting thing is that students can purchase $10 tickets to any of the Georgia Tech Arts performances that I'm going to talk about. And tickets will go on sale later in the year. We're going to have a whole handout with more information and lots of links that we're going to put a link to in the chat and also share with you in other ways. So in addition to the performances in the First Center, we're also going to be presenting an outdoor installation that will be completely free. And then I just do want to address that last bullet point, and we do want you to know that we take our responsibility as hosts seriously, and we are committed to being careful and responsive, and we have instituted rigorous safety policies to protect our students and our patrons and our staff and our artists. And I can go to the next slide and I'll talk about our artists. So actually, yes, that's right. We've switched it around. Sorry, there were different artists in different order in the fall. So for those of you who are not familiar with her work, let me just say that Kaki King has been hailed by Rolling Stone as a genre unto herself. She is a composer and a musician and is truly considered one of the world's greatest living guitarists. And in February, she will bring to us Data Not Found, which is an intimate work. She's going to be performing it with approximately 30 people in the audience per show. And it's really a sonic and visual event featuring music from her most recent album, Modern Yesterdays. And she uses it to explore a whole range of contemporary issues, including artificial intelligence in the natural world and big data, personal empowerment, and really uses her guitar as sort of the proverbial magnifying glass through which to look at that. And she recently performed Data Not Found at the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi, and she's looking forward to bringing it here to share it with us at Georgia Tech. And then our next artist. So this is Bill T. Jones Arnie Zane Company is a New York City-based company that is truly recognized as one of the most innovative and powerful forces in the dance theater world, and we're really excited to bring them back to Atlanta. It's been many years. And so on March 6th, they are going to perform What Problem?, which is a work that pulls from Melville's Moby Dick, as well as local community-oriented content to address questions of belonging and community and loneliness, which are truly topics that we are all facing in these times. And Atlanta is going to be one of the first cities to present this work following its world premiere at George Mason University. So we are looking forward to that. And then the last Georgia Tech Arts installation for the season will be Amygdala. So Fuse is an Italian design company. It's their research really focuses on installations and live media performances capable of very deep audience engagement. And we first presented the company in their work called Doc to a packed house at the First Center for the Arts in October of 2019. And we're really excited to see this other part of how they work. So through the entire month of April, we will be offering Amygdala, which is an outdoor installation that's going to be on the plaza right in front of the First Center for the Arts. And using proprietary algorithms, Amygdala pulls information from social media in real time and translates that data into visual representations. And the tall columns of light that you see in this picture that will be arranged in a circle on the plaza, along with television monitors that show the data as it's being analyzed, will literally animate the flow of information as it's being created by Twitter users all across the country. So we're really fascinated to see how this works. And I think this is a really important example of how we can look at the creation of this work and to let the Georgia Tech students really into what is the science and the research that goes into creating these works of art. So we are ready to sort of wrap it up if we want to go to the last slide and then take some questions. There we go. So we really encourage your student to stay in touch with us. They need to sign up for the mailing list if they want to be able to keep in touch with us. So it's really easy to do, to go to our website, arts.gautech.edu, and we'll put a link in the chat. Visit the website. On the handout that we're going to be sharing with you, there's a whole list of arts-related student organizations and student government committees that they could get involved in. And also to really keep in touch with us and to learn about the artists who we're partnering with. And they could talk to their professors to find out how they might get involved, or if there's work that an artist is doing or a question that they're looking at that intrigues them, which boils down to the last one, which is come ask us questions, find out what we're doing and who we're working with. We're really eager to be in touch with the students. So I guess there we go.
Yeah, so what we'll do now is just take a couple questions that we have. Did you want to talk briefly about the link in the PDF that you dropped in?
Okay. Yeah, basically what we wanted to do is give you a little more information for the students, and this is really to share with them about what the fall activities are, the residency engagements, the workshops, more information about the spring performances. And I've also dropped into this handout a lot of links, things that can take you to the School of Music, the marching band, drama tech, student organizations that are related to the arts and really support the arts on campus, like Art Matters and the Buzz, and student government, which has a arts committee that is always looking for executive leadership, and to really find ways, I think, to use this handout as a resource for big picture, as well as very specific. Click on the link, sign up for our email address. Sign up for our email list, and we can keep in touch with you. We promise we don't spam. We only send about once a week, but really let you know what's going on campus. Oftentimes we will have offers, discounts, things from arts organizations in the community, and we want to be able to share them with the students.
Thank you so much for sharing
and
that.
Just to add, these workshops and lectures and performances are all just great opportunities for your students to take a break from their studies in the day and to use it as a time to reflect and also to interact with other students in a social format. So we really do encourage sharing these events with them, and hopefully we offer such a variety that they'll find something that really speaks to them.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It seems that we do have a couple questions. Does Georgia Tech have a symphony orchestra or chamber music?
Yes, so there is a link in the handout to the School of Music, which runs, I think it's something like 15 or 20 different groups, performing groups. There's chamber chorales and chamber orchestras and glee clubs, and all the information. It's run through the School of Music at the College of Design. So I really would encourage your students to check in with the School of Music and see what kind of opportunities there are there for auditioning and performing.
Thank you so much for that. The next question says, thank you for presenting. Is there any information about student performances on campus, such as the Glee Club?
I don't know that they are scheduling any performances right now. Mm-hmm. Normally that information, in terms of student performances, you would have Drama Tech, which is also fantastic. I'm sorry, I forgot to call them out when I was talking about the handout. That's the oldest running theater company in Atlanta, was actually the student founded Drama Tech. They're really a remarkable group. Definitely look at that. And in terms of other performances, the School of Music does promote those performances, and they normally happen at the First Center for the Arts, at the West Campus concert hall, and also sites all around town have happened. So obviously things are a little different this fall, but they do perform. Every group performs, I think, usually at least 2 times a year.
And just to add, the online campus calendar lists all the events on campus that are happening in person and virtually. And there is a way to filter by performances and art. We also have a feed of those events to our homepage, which I put in the chat. But if you go to arts.gatech.edu, we do have a feed of upcoming arts-related events. And again, Elizabeth mentioned joining our email list as a great way for your students to know about upcoming opportunities. So we do share, both events that come from our office, but also highlight other artistic mediums and opportunities on campus as well.
Are there any particular student organizations that your office advises? If so, what are they and what do they do?
Do you want to take that, Kelly?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of those organizations is Art Matters. They're the art focused group. They are the ones that have created that new series called #CreateTogether. And so for that one, again, it's going to be workshops where inviting student artists on campus to share their skill and to create a space for just collaboration and artistic expression among students. There's it has that social aspect. It's not just a presentation. It is set up to be interactive. And then they've also done events called Pass the Aux, which is hosted on Instagram Live. And so that's an opportunity for any student who wants to perform live on. They can submit their name and have an opportunity for an open mic performance.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there a way for a student to minor in art, even though they have a STEM concentration currently? Is that possible?
I don't. There is not a major in music. There are 2 graduate programs. So I think depending on what you mean by art, you might want to look at the programs that are offered at the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts in the media departments there. That's probably more of what you would find here.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you so much. If I'm a parent and I would like to come in town for the weekend, am I able to go to arts events as well, or are they just for students?
I can take that one, Elizabeth. So it depends on the event. So some of the workshops are exclusively for students. They are designed to be small group and allow for that conversation and collaboration. But all of the performances that Elizabeth mentioned, those are all open to the public. So we would love to have you all join us, have the parents and family when you're in town to come to any of those performances. And then also the virtual streaming events, those are also open to everyone. So we'd love to have you tune in for our Technically Creative series, as well as the album live stream with Khaki King in October. And those are all recorded as well. So even if you're not able to join when it's scheduled, we do post those on our Facebook and YouTube page. So you can always go back to the archive and watch anything that you may have missed.
Great, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's really cool. Is there any musician club / strings club at Georgia Tech?
Well, there is a group called the Musicians Network, and that they normally have run a site called Under the Couch, which is moving. It's a student organization, used to be in the student center, but now that that is closed for renovations, I think they're actually moving back to the Couch building. So that's a long answer of saying yes, there are. And then there are also the ensembles themselves at the School of Music. That's where you would find the ability to audition and play with and perform with your peers as students. And honestly, to really encourage your students to use Engage, which is the platform for the student organizations, which I think will be fully populated by October, and to look for the music groups. I mean, there are literally clubs here that range from ballroom dancing to Zumba and everything in between. And if they don't find what they want, they could start one.
Great. I think that's really great information. If you could, I think just for clarification, in the spring there will be in-person events available. Is that correct?
Yes.
Could you
Yes,
talk?
that's correct.
Okay. Could you talk about some of the COVID kind of protocols and things that you all have in place to kind of ensure the safety of attendees?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I think I'd just start by saying that, first of all, we follow the guidance of the Institute. So ultimately determining, if we have our in-person events are following that guidance. But we have instituted a protocol. We have designed the seat layout to allow for physical distancing within the space following CDC guidelines. We've also set up a protocol for one direction entrance and exit of the building to prevent kind of cross flow of individuals and to allow for that physical distancing of 6 feet or more while moving through the space. There's also the enhanced cleaning protocols, which are happening across campus, but that also includes the First Center for the Arts.
And our ticketing, we have gone entirely virtual. We're not going to do paper tickets or handouts. Everything will be emailed and people will be scanned both for temperatures when they walk in the building, and then when they are seated by an usher, their ticket should be on their phone or their mobile device and scanned that way.
And then to also just point out the installation that we mentioned, Amygdala, that will be outdoors.
Right.
So that'll also allow for that that physical distancing as well, and to enjoy that installation outdoors.
I think the last question that I have is, do you all have student employment opportunities through your office? And if so, what does that look like?
Yes, well, why don't you, Kelly? I mean, yes, we do, and primarily it's in the theater or box office.
Yeah, so in terms of, and ushers. Right. So there are those opportunities. So we do encourage any students who might be interested, they can always email us at info@arts.govtech.edu. I'll put that in the chat as well.
Okay, great. Well, I'd like to thank both you, Kelly, and you, Elizabeth, for joining us here today. I think you all shared some really great information for our parents and families. And I think that it's really amazing that we have such a great office and a great arts center that supports students in a different way and just provides different opportunities for them to be involved. I think we have one of the best arts centers in the country. So definitely thank you all for taking time out your schedule to join us here today. Parents and families, if you would like to go back and view this recording, it will be available within the next 24 hours on our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook, as well as our website, parents.gagtech.edu. You will go under the Stay Connected tab, and then you'll click on virtual recordings. And so I would just like to thank you all for joining us today and look forward to seeing you all next week.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.